let's talk about the object data type. So object is also a data type in JavaScript. So let's understand how exactly we can create the object data type and what are the facilities available in JavaScript for object data type. So let me just create a basic object here with ID, which is holding a number. This is a super simple object we have created in JavaScript, which is holding two properties in it. So very first thing, don't get confused with the concepts of classes and the object. Let's understand here the object is only meaning like it is holding the multiple data. It can be the variables, it can be your functions or more. So in this case, it is just holding the two properties here. Let's quickly console it. Okay, we are having a very good object which is holding the two things in it. So now the question, how to access these values? So in general way that we do, like we can just say dot id. Okay, we can access it. The same way I can make it dot name. So this is a way to access the properties of your object. But there are other ways as well. What is that? So I can also make, let's say for example, this ID we have seen. Let's copy this and mention it in index format in this way. I need to remove the dot here. Yeah. So it is giving you the same result. This is just one more way to access your properties. So in which case you should use this one and which case you should use this one. So of course, the first way will not be useful always because sometimes it will not be feasible when you are using the symbols. So you cannot use it in this way directly because the symbols can be accessed directly by its identifier. Let's say, for example, here I add a symbol called S equals to symbol of number, for example. And here I need to mention the symbol S equals to a unique number. So now if I want to access this particular symbol, which is a third property inside my object, I can't do it directly by mentioning dot S here. And if I do that, let's see what happens. It is not able to identify. So to access this particular only, we must make use of this symbol S here. And how I can do that? So I can just say console ob of S. So in this way, I'm making use of the symbol, which is a unique symbol here to make access out of it. So now see the output, we are able to get that. So it's a bit complicated area of working with symbols, but this is just to elaborate in which cases you may be requiring the index format or the normal format. Let's remove this for now. Okay. There are other objects as well. For example, let table 2 here and table 2, for example, I want to do 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, like that I want to create. So here just I'm trying to create a table of 2. So with the first index, it's a 2 value. Its second index, it's a value of 4, then 6. So I cannot do this by using the variables like this ID and name. I need the numbers here in this case. And if I try to say the table of 2 and I want to access dot 4 here. So it is giving a syntax error here. I just want to get this element here of my object, but I'm not able to do that. It's a valid property. There are 3 properties inside our object. So if we could have done in a normal way, for example, 1, 2, 3, like this, so we could have been easily done. But in this case, we are having with numbers as a key of our properties. These are called as a key for the property and these are called the values for our property. So now to make access of this, what I can do, I can make use of the index format. I can specify here the key. So now I will get the value 4. Let's go to the third one. Yeah, I would again like to clarify, this is not an index like a 0, 1, 2 that we generally do. Let me clarify that with one example here. For example, let me make it directly 10 and it will be 20. I can do that. So this is just a name. We can say the key we are specifying at what key you want to access your property of your object. Let's see the outcome. 20. That's perfect. Let's understand where we should not make use of objects. So we have a normal variable creation, for example, a equals to number 101. It's a normal primitive number data type we can use here, which is holding 101 as a number. Type of. So this is a super simple scenario. We should not complicate this by creating an object. So if I just create the same number by using the format new number, so now this is not a normal primitive data type of number. It's an object now. And how we can prove that? If I just console type of A, we can see it's an object now. So when you're doing and converting as an object, so additional memory related, performance related things will come up that will unwantedly complicate your application for the processing purpose. So if it's simple that can be handled by the primitive data type, we should go with that, and we should not use the new string or the new number or the new boolean, these formats which are available to create equivalent of your primitive as an object. Let's understand what more our object can do. So object can also hold a function inside that. So let's see with a quick example. Here we are having a bank account object, for example, the ID of our bank account. Then we are having the name of the person for which this bank account is. And we want to give the facility of credit to this particular object. So I can create a function over here itself. So I can just say credit. And here we need to create anonymous function. I just want to console credit called in this way. So now our object is holding two properties and one function in that. So total there are three members inside our object. Our object can also have a function, and the way we have access the ID and the name, we can also access the credit method here. So let's try to do that. So account one dot credit, I just need to make a call to it because it's already consoling as per its functionality. Let's see. Yes. Now let's see the next one here. A object can also hold a nested object inside that at multiple nested level. So in this particular object, we want to also store the address information for our customer. So I'll say address. And this is an again object here. That's the reason I'm making use of curly brackets. I'm getting an error here because I'm missing the comma here. And here, this address is again an object which should hold two properties in it. One is the city and one more is the country. So I can do that here. City, okay, and one more country. So this is how this address object is a nested object inside our account one. And of course, if I want to get this particular city and want to console it, I need to go a nested way. Console count one dot address and the city. So this is how in a nested level I'm going. Yeah. Let's understand one more concept with object if we use by using a constant. So let's say I'm creating a normal object here. This time I'll create it as a constant. The ID is 101, and if I just console this object, I should be able to see the normal outcome. Yeah, perfectly okay. And here, this is a constant. So generally the constant meaning is in JavaScript, we will not be able to change its values. But here, what I will do, I'll say object dot name, and here I'm trying to change the property. I'm not changing the object. We are changing only the property present inside the object. So the object is remaining same, only the property within that we are changing. Let's see it will able to successfully change it or not. Yes, it is able to change that. But how exactly it's happening? even if it is a constant here. The reason is, as I told you, we are not changing the complete object. When you will get that error, if you are creating a new object and then trying to assign it to an object, then you will get the error, because this constant is applicable to this complete object. If you're trying to change a complete object, so of course you will get that error. So ID 102, name, let's apply the prettier. Yeah. Now let's see the outcome. Yes, assignment to a constant variable, because this time, what if the complete object was present, that itself you are trying to override it, which is not allowed in the case we have seen. So this is how the objects work as a data type in JavaScript.